Damon-Jackson.
I'm gonna use my outdoor voice. So if you can't
Please
hear me,
speak into the microphone.
well, it might get a little loud. Okay, no, I'm not saying I'm gonna be loud as a negative thing, just letting you know, I wanna make sure everybody can hear. So I just want to introduce myself here. I took a couple notes. I want to stay to the point. You've heard a lot of different points of view. You know, people are upset. That's very obvious. Just want to let you know, I'm coming from an educational background. I'm in my 17th year, and I work in the state's 4th largest public school district. I'm a school administrator. I run a school of 454 students myself, so I'm speaking from experience here. I got to tell you, when I taught, one of the biggest things that I've learned here, especially now in my new role as a school leader, is that we need to look at the data. Okay, we live in a data-driven world. You look at the movement towards DPI, educator effectiveness, it's something that has been buried down not only on me as administrator, but on all the individual teachers here in the building. It's a huge amount of work. So the work conditions are already difficult. So when we take into consideration all that goes into this, the self-reflection, the SLO, and I don't know how many your district's requiring, we require 1. You look at the mid-year review, you look at the data collection, you look at all the different things that teachers have to do. I'm going to come back to the data. Because the thing is when I taught, if children were dropping my class in mass numbers comparable to the number of teachers that have been leaving this district, I'd have to do something that I asked you all to do a month ago, which is to look in the mirror, take a look at what you're looking at, and do some self-reflection. So if kids were leaving my classroom, I need to do some self-reflection. What's wrong with my practice? What am I not doing to meet my student needs? So I need to ask you all to do the same thing. Look in the mirror. What are you not doing individually to meet your constituents' needs, our students' needs? Because you're talking about our students' future here. Also, I talked about using data to make informed decisions. You gave exit interviews, you gave some surveys, and you took all that information, and away it went. Don't be afraid of the data. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the data show that people are not happy. People are upset for a variety of reasons. So instead of running from that, or turning your back to that, or dismissing that, embrace that. Use it as a learning moment. That's what we encourage our students to do when they encounter difficulties. We use it as a teaching moment. And I can tell you, Mr. Maltov does a good job of that, and I commend him for that. The reason why we need to look at the data, and we use that to drive our instruction and our practices, is because we should be differentiating individualized instruction for all students. We should be using data to planning relevant whole group lessons. We need to use data to set our learning targets. We need to use data to drive our students to push themselves, such as the MAP scores. They have a projected RIT growth score. We want to push them to hit that projected RIT growth and go further. Why? We want to close the achievement gap. We want to increase our student achievement. Evergreen Elementary. I sent Mr. Maltov an email the other day. I didn't hear back, but I get that because I'm the same way. But 0.9 away, it's true, but we're 0.9 away from far exceeding the top category of the state. I share that with you because that's something to be celebrated. That tells you that the people in our buildings are working hard. The proof is in the pudding. It's right there on the state report card. So instead of having this Gestapo-like mentality and approach to our teachers and our students, celebrate these things. They need to be celebrated. Last but not least, I simply want to state that change is there's one constant in life, and that's change. There's one thing I can guarantee you in life, is that something's going to change. So, with that said, it's time for a change, from the top to the bottom, in the best interest of our children, because at the end of the day, I don't know why you're in education, but I'm in education for our kids.